we are back with the Champions League. This time around, we're going to be covering the first leg of the Champions League playoffs, which are huge for all the clubs involved in it. Now, the standout matches are Real Madrid versus Benfica and Dortmund versus Atalanta. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Drop a like if you do. Starting off with Galatasaray versus Juventus. This could be a very underrated match. So let's get started with Galatasaray. They've been doing not too bad this season. They finished in 20th place in the league phase table, which secured them a spot in the playoffs. I would say this team could be quite underrated, but we could scrap all the matches played in the league phase because now it's basically knockout football and anything could happen. And Osimhen is going to be a vital player for this game. He's going to be so important. Most of the goals come through him as well. Onto Juventus, they've been doing quite decent, finished in 13th place in the league phase, and Juve probably have the upper hand here, I would say quality wise, but Spalletti has got this team performing quite well. Once again, as I said before, anything can happen in these knockout games, but Yildiz is going to be a very important player for them, and McKennie has been on some very good form recently, so we could see him ball out in this match. But my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Juventus. Moving on to Dortmund versus Atalanta. This has got to be one of the best games. So let's get started with Dortmund. They have been doing not too bad this season. Never write this team off because they have been pretty solid the past few years. They finished in 17th place for the league phase, and Dortmund, I think, will need Guirassy to turn up in this match because I believe last year he got like 13 goals. He was one of the top goal scorers in the competition, but they must play the football that we know they are capable of. But they're gonna need the defense to be solid against, Atalanta have quite a bit of talent and quality players. Now onto Atalanta, they've been doing quite decent this season. They ended off in 15th place in the league phase, and they only scored 10 goals, which is quite crazy. I would say that's very low, and they conceded actually the same amount. They managed to qualify with that amount of goals, and they have just lost the Lookman to Atletico Madrid as well, a very important player in that squad. A lot of the plays were running through him, so they got to play more as a team as of now. But my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. Moving on to Monaco versus PSG. This game is going to be a very good game as well. So two French teams are facing off against each other. So let's get started with Monaco. They have been not the best, but they have been alright. Like in the league phase, they finished 21st place, just inside the playoffs. But this is going to be a very tough match for them because they're playing one of the best teams in the world, and they will most definitely set up to try and counter PSG in my opinion. And Monaco need a huge game from the attack and the defense. Like the whole team has to turn up in these two legs. Now onto PSG, they have been doing quite alright this season. It's quite crazy seeing them in the playoffs once again, but we saw what happened last season and it could be a repeat. Can they do it back to back? But they finished just on the edge of the playoffs in 11th place yet again. These are the reigning champions we're on about. So the quality they have all around the pitch is insane. They have Dembele up there, Kvaratskhelia up there, they have Vitinha in the middle, João Neves in the midfield, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, some of the best players in their respective positions. Unbelievable. But they are gearing up as well because they just beat Marseille 5-0 in the derby in the Ligue 1. So Ousmane Dembele is heating up as well. You know his time to turn up is here, and he got 2 goals in that match. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for PSG. Moving on to Benfica versus Real Madrid. These two face off once again in a rematch, and it's going to be absolutely fire. Now let's get started with Benfica. They have been not the best honestly this season. They just nicked a playoff spot in the 24th place. That came as they beat Real Madrid 4-2 in match day 8, literally the last match day, and they played so well. Credit to Jose Mourinho and how he set up his team, by the way. But Ruben scoring the goal to send them into the playoffs where they are right now, and that was in the 98th minute. The scenes were insane. That left winger, he's such a baller. That guy got 2 goals in that Real Madrid match. Incredible talent. He was just cutting inside constantly, and then he just whipped it into the goal. Fantastic talent. But onto Real Madrid, they have been doing pretty decent this season. They just finished 9th place in the league phase. So due to that goal for Benfica, they kind of dropped into 9th place, and Man City won their match. So they're in the playoffs right now, and I'm sure they will be back and ready for this match because Mbappe has been moving kind of crazy in the Champions League. This guy has 13 goals in 7 matches. Those are some unbelievable numbers. But we could see potentially the UCL knockout Vinicius that we all know. Could he turn up? We're gonna have to find out the next few weeks. But my prediction is gonna be a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. Moving on to Karabakh versus Newcastle. This could be very interesting. It could go either way. So let's get started with Karabakh. They've been doing quite decent this season. I believe this is their 2nd time in the Champions League as well. They finished 22nd in the league phase table. Could be one of the underdog teams. They've gotten some big results as well throughout their campaign so far. Like earlier into the league phase, they gave Chelsea a game and they drew 2-2. They conceded the most goals in 21 goals in the league phase. I don't know how they made it through into the playoffs, but they did. But that's a problem that is going to be needing fixing, especially against the side like Newcastle. Now on to Newcastle, they've been quite impressive. I did not expect them to finish in 12th place in the league phase, performing quite well throughout all the matches, only losing 2 games in 8 matches, conceding only 7 goals, having one of the strongest defensive lines in the Champions League. And think of the knockouts is where they could really thrive with their style. So Gordon and Barnes, they have been so important to their side in terms of goals, because Gordon has gotten 6 goals in 8 matches in the Champions League for Newcastle, and Barnes has 5 goals in 8 matches as well. So those two have been performing very well. But my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Newcastle. Moving on to Olympiacos versus Leverkusen. I feel like this will be quite an even match. So let's get started with Olympiacos. They finished in 18th place in the league phase, which is pretty good, I would say, but overall they haven't been doing the best this season. I feel like when this team needs them to perform, they will perform in matches that they have to. The last game they played Leverkusen on January 20th, they beat them 2-0. Taremi is going to be a very important player with his experience. He scored a goal in the last match, and I think he could do it in this match again. So let's see if Olympiacos could beat Leverkusen once again. Now on to Leverkusen. They've been doing alright this season, finished 16th place in the league phase. It's kind of been a bit of a drop off compared to when Xabi Alonso was there, but now they have Kasper Højlund as the manager. I believe he's the Denmark manager, and I think they could bounce back and get revenge on Olympiacos. Obviously, they're gonna need a key player in Grimaldo with his deliveries coming into the box. His goals at times, his free kicks are crazy as well. But the high pressing in their last match in the Champions League is something that could have Olympiacos flustered. But my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Leverkusen. Now moving on to Bodo Glimt versus Inter. This should be a very interesting match. So let's get started with Bodo Glimt. They haven't been doing the best this season. They just made it into the playoffs, finishing 23rd place in the table, and the last 3 matches they have turned up against big sides. Like they won 3-0 against Man City, and they beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 in their last game in match day 8. So it definitely shows that they can really play well against the top sides and get results. But I gotta say, I think it's their striker Hoy. He's been bagging some goals in the Champions League. At the moment, he has 10 matches played and he scored 4 goals and assisted 2. But it's gonna be a very tough match as Inter are solid defensively, but the positive is this is being played at Bodo Glimt's ground, so they're going to be at home, and I believe they're very strong at home. Now on to Inter. They've been doing quite alright this season. They finished 10th place in the league phase, 1 point off guaranteed round of 16, so that's tough. But throughout the years, they have been a very good team, especially defensively. I would say they're one of the best in the world still, in my opinion. But the quality in that team, I mean, they have quality all around. They have Lautaro Martinez up top, DeMarco playing wing back, Thuram up top, Barella in the midfield, who, I mean, that guy's just a baller. But this season, with a new manager like Christian Chivu, they have been playing offensively better. They've been scoring more goals. But I feel like Inter will come into this match and it's going to be kind of a battle for them. But my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw. Moving on to Club Brugge versus Atletico Madrid. This game, honestly, I feel like it could go either way. So let's get started with Club Brugge. They're doing not too bad this season. They finished 19th place in the league phase. And in their recent Champions League matches, they've been doing quite well. Like last game, they won 3-0 against Marseille, which put them into the playoffs. I feel like they will need to push Atletico Madrid into their own box. So they're gonna have to control the game around Atletico Madrid's box and build play around there. But that's something they need to do. They need to break down this Atletico Madrid squad. As Atletico Madrid, they like to sit quite deep. But onto Atletico Madrid, they've been doing quite alright this season. They finished 14th place in the league phase. I would consider them a quality side. They have lots of great players all around the pitch. Their play style though is mainly just sitting in like a low block or a mid block and then countering. I think they could also switch it up, play more of a attacking style, as Simeone, he is a very versatile manager tactically. But Julian Alvarez, he has been balling out for the club. I mean, what a player he is. That move to Atletico Madrid definitely made him a very good player. He's got the free kicks on him. He could finish with both feet. Just complete forward, in my opinion. But now Atletico Madrid have added Ademola Lookman to the squad. That's going to be a huge boost, but I'm not sure if he's going to be available for this match. But the threat in attack is looking quite crazy, and defensively in the knockouts, I feel like Atletico Madrid could be quite strong. But my prediction for this match is going to be a 2-1 win for Atletico Madrid. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions for these matches, and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.